Welcome to another live stream for Whiskey Games and Nerd Stuff. We're going to continue testing out the live stream, and we are on Chapter 2, Episode 4 of My City Roll and Build. We'll go ahead and try this. And at this particular time, I'm drinking a Shy, if that's how you pronounce that. Let's go ahead and take a sip. And as always, for any of the viewers, I'll go ahead and answer questions that come up. So feel free to ask. All right, we got a 4-spot with the stripes. So I think the 4-spot's always good to do right here. Let's go ahead and roll again. We've got a 2-spot solid. All right, let's do the solid over here. There we go. All right, we have a L solid. So let's go ahead and, you know what, let's do it this way. So the difference on episode 4 versus the other episode is we now have this well, and we do want to have 4 separate buildings surrounding the well space. All right, and then now we have a larger L stripe. So let's go ahead and, how do we want to do this one? You know what? I think let's go ahead and go up and over. 1, 2, 3, and then 2 over. Hopefully everybody's having a good night. All right, so we have a 1 stripe. Let's just go ahead and get that building right there. All right, we have the shape I hate the most in this game. But I believe we're okay, at least right here. Yeah, this is the shape that I like the least when playing this game. This, between this and the 4 square. For those that are playing the game, would be curious to know which, if you have a particular shape, group of buildings that you don't like to play. All right, let's go ahead and we have a solid L. And we'll do it this way. All right. Let's go ahead and roll. We have a 4Xer. So where do we want to do this? See, this is where we got to be careful, because it's got to be, you know, I'm going to have to do it down here because we don't have a spot up here to do the 4s. And it has to be next to another building. But this is considered adjacent across. But we will go ahead and do this. Maybe it's possible we can have some buildings connect up here and get those points from additional buildings. Let's go ahead and take a sip of our beer. All right. We have a 4 stripe, which will fit over here quite well. Now let's go ahead and, okay, we have a solid. solid line. Let's go ahead and go down here. So now, when we're getting the points for the similar buildings adjacent to each other, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that kind of worked out for us. Okay, we have another 4 spot. We're getting quite a few of these. But now that we have some spots over here, we can kind of put it there. However, I hate having these oneers left open because when you get too many of those, you know you're going to be left with a few. Okay, we have our first Xer, and of course it just happens to be a 4. So let's see. Let's just put it right here. And again, for anybody watching, we were just doing a playthrough of My City. All right, we have a 3Xer. So that kind of works out. Let's go ahead and do it there. And now we have 1, 2 buildings next to that well, so we just need 2 more to get our 4 points. Okay, we have a 3L for a solid. And how do we want to do this? You know what? We'll do it this way. Now we just need 1 more building right there to get our 4 points. Okay, we got a 3 stripe. And we don't have any spots over here for the 3. We really don't have any spots up there. We do have right here. Let's just go ahead and cover that rock over here. And we've got a lot of these 4s, and we don't have a space for a 4. So here's the situation we're at. We can pass, and we're going to take -1 point. Or we could put the 4 one right here, but we're going to lose the 2 points for the trees. The problem, though, is by doing that, we were relying on a 1er to get that well. So I think what we're going to do is pass, take the -1 right there, and let's hope we can get some better rolls. So we need some 2 spots, some 1s, and a couple 3s. All right. What is up with these 4s and longer ones? So we have a 4 stripe, and the only spot we've got is over here. All right, let's see what we can get. We need to get a 2 or 1. Okay, there's a 2 solid. All right, great. So there's our 2 solid, which is exactly what we needed right here. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 separate buildings next to that well. So we will get that 4 points. So that's good. All right, so we have a 3 spot and a couple 1 spots. Oh, a 2 spot there. All right, that is going to have to be a pass. Oh, man, we're not going to have a good score in this one. All right, come on. We need to get a 2 and a 3. Nope. All right. 1 more, because now we're missing 3 points, but that's 2 points there and 2 points there, so that's 4. So we have a 3. All right, do we have anything that can cover the 3 spot? We do not. So right now where it stands, we are going to be missing 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 points. So we're worth it trying to get a few more of these rocks if we can get better rolls. This is just horrible. I'm going to try. We're just going to have to call this game bad start. And yep. All right. We're just going to call this one and go into the negatives. So we are -7 right there. We're going to get our points for all our trees. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We're going to miss 2, 4, 6 for the rocks. And empty spaces 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So right there, that is 17, 24 plus 10. So we are a -14 just there. Now we go ahead and have, how many solid buildings do we have together? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How many straight buildings? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we had just 2 X's next to each other. And remember, we also got the 4 points for the well. So that's 10, and 10 is 20. 20 minus the 14. So we had a whopping 6. Oh, you know what? We messed up. I messed up on this one. So this one we will have to do, because I forgot there was a churches on here. So in the chapter 1, when we roll these, we were ignoring these. When we get this symbol. But I completely forgot that we should have been rolling for the churches. So we are going to call this one a void and redo this one. I'm going to go ahead and mute this for a second while I grab something. All right, I am back, folks. And feel free to ask any questions in the chat. So we are going to restart chapter 2, episode 4. This time we will try and remember the churches. So let's go ahead and take a sip of our beer. All right, let's go ahead and do another one. We got a 3 solid. Let's just go ahead and start down here. Get that out of the way. All right. We have a 2 solid. We will go ahead and just do it right there. All right, we have a 3 stripe. And let's just go ahead and do the stripe across the river. All right, and let's go ahead and roll again. Okay, so now we have our first church. So our first church has to be this tour right here. So where do we want to put the church? You know what? Let's go ahead and put it this way right here so we can continue. And this will signify the churches. So we got that first one. All right, we have a 1Xer. We will go ahead and put the 1Xer right there. And let's roll again. Okay, we have our second church. The second church has to be this symbol, and I think I know what we're going to do. So we've got to go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So it does this. All right, now we have the second church done. Let's go ahead and have a beer. Would love to hear in the comment sections what your thoughts are on this game. I find it relaxing. Oh, we got another church. So now we got to do the 3. So let's just put it right there next to that. And for those that are watching, we are just doing a playthrough of My City Roll and Build. It's not going to be very exciting, but feel free to ask any questions in the chat if you have any questions. My City is a roll and build, and we are just drinking and playing games and answering questions. Still getting new to the live streaming, so if there's problems with the audio or video, please feel free to say something as well. All right, so now we have a line of 4Xer. Let's see, where do we want to go with this 4X? Let's go ahead and go up this way. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this is going to bite me in the butt. And the reason for that is we need 2 singles to get this. I don't think this is going to work out for us, but we're going to go ahead and try it anyway. All right, so now we have... All right, so we have the stripe. Where do we want to go with this one? How do we want to do this? Remember, they have to connect. I think we'll just do it this way. So we'll go ahead and go. There we go. All right. And we have our 4th church. So now we have to draw one more church. And let's see, where do we want to put this? You know what? I'm going to go, remember, it has to be next to another building. Let's go ahead and do it this way. So we're going to go 1. There we go. Now, if we roll a church again, we don't have to worry about drawing the church because we've gone our 4. So let's go ahead and roll. We do need to get some buildings around that. Well, all right, so we have a 2Xer. So right now we only have the 1X right there, but let's go ahead and start building number 1. Oh, we actually do have an X right there. So let's go ahead and do our 2Xer right here. That's going to count as the first building next to the church. Let's go ahead and have another drink. And for any of the viewers, if you're drinking, would love to hear what you're drinking, what your drink of choice is on the weekend. Here is a 3Xer. So we are going to go ahead and, where do we want to put this? I could put it here, but we're not going to get our 4 buildings. So unfortunately, we're going to have to move it over here somewhere on the side. Let's just go ahead and do the 3Xer over here. All right, let's go ahead and check again. Okay, we got a 1Xer, so this is going to work for us. So I'm going to put the 1Xer right there. So now we've got 1 building, 2 buildings. Let's roll again. Okay, we have a 3 solid. And for those that are watching, if you haven't played, if you notice, when you're rolling these dice, you're matching these up. I'm using the colored pencils just aesthetically. I like the colored pencils more. You don't have to use them. I just find that it works out better. All right, let's go ahead and roll once more. All right, so we have a line 3X. Where do we want to put this X? You know what? Let's go up this way with that. X. And we have a 3 stripe. All right, so let's see. You know what? We're just going to have to... We're not going to get very many points for our buildings next to each other, so I'm just kind of giving up on that on this one. And we've got an LX, which will kind of work. I'm just trying to figure out the best way do we want to do this. We can put it up here. You know what? I can go. There we go. All right. And we have another X like that. And we're not going to have the spot to put that. Shoot. So we're going to minus a point right there. Come on, we need some 2s, 3s, or 1s. All right, we got 3 solid, which, shoot, we don't have 3s. All right, we're going to take another penalty. Come on, we need 1s, 2s, or 3s together. Gotta stop getting these rolls. Okay, here's an L. And we have a stripe. So let's go ahead and get this rock over here. So we got that one. All right, so now we have 2 singles. We have a 4 spot. We need to get our 1, 2. We're not going to get our 4 buildings unless we get a single and a double. So I think we're just going to have to kind of just get what we can get. Okay, we have another solid. Let's go ahead and cover this up here. And again, for the viewers that are watching, feel free to ask any questions in the chat. Let's go ahead and take another sip. All right, we've got... Yeah, this is not going to work for us. I'm going to do one more roll and see what happens. Okay, we got a 2 spot or 2X. So let's go ahead and get right here. So we need a 1 or a 4. Really, we're looking at a 1 or a 4. Oh, nice. Look at that. We got a 1 stripe. So let's go ahead and get this. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 buildings surrounding the well. So we will get that 4 points, which we're going to need. So we're going to do one more roll because, we're going to be losing these points, but we are going to get penalized right there. And don't forget the rocks up there. So I really did mess up on this one. All right, we have a 2 spot. That is an X. So let's just go ahead and put it right there. And one more time, unless we get a single. Shoot. All right. So we're going to stop there. And this is going to be a horrible score. So we got -5 right there. We're going to get 10 points for the trees. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We are going to get penalized 4 points for those 4 rocks. And empty spaces 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've got 8, 13. So -13 right here plus 10. So at the top, we are -3. And let's see where we're at for buildings. So solid buildings, we only have 2 next to each other. Stripe buildings, we have 1 because we just sucked that one up. And X's, we've got 1, 2, 3. or 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, and we got 4 points for the well. So that's 8, 10, 11. So we have a whopping positive 8 for that. This was a horrible, horrible score on this one. So let's just do. All right, let's go ahead and take a sip of beer. And I'm going to open it up to where if anybody wants to ask any questions, feel free to ask any questions in the chat. And we can kind of go from there. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to move on to chapter 2, episode 5. So the difference is we are going to get basically the same. The same map. You are going to get the points for the rocks, the empty spaces. Oh, all 3 types of buildings adjacent to a church. So you're going to get plus 3 points. So not only do you get, we're going to get 4 points for each well. So see how this one has 2 wells? We're also going to get points if we have 3 buildings adjacent to a particular church. And for the viewer who asked the question, it is a Shahi. Let me go ahead and type that in here. I'll be back in just a second. All right, so it is Ashai, if I'm pronouncing that right. I'm probably mispronouncing it. So let's go ahead and we will start. And actually, I'm going to go grab another one. So I will be right back, folks. We are back with another beer. And we're going to go ahead and begin chapter 2, episode 5 of My City Roll and Build. Again, please feel free to ask any questions. I'll answer those that I'm comfortable answering. All right, so let's start off with a 4-spot X. And let's just go ahead and get that 4-spot taken care of. We have a 3-spot stripe. And we will go ahead and put it right here. Roll again. We have a 2 stripe. So we will go ahead and put that here. It's going to count as building number 1 for that one. We have a 4 solid. So let's see. Where do we want to do the solid? You know what? Let's go ahead and do it here. And we have a 3 stripe. So let's see. We can put it here, but that's going to be, yeah, it's going to corner us. But what we will do is put it right here. Now we have building number 2 next to that well. Excuse me. Okay, we have a 2-spot stripe, which we will put right here. And now that's building number 3. And we have a 2-spot X. And let's just do this to make things a little easier for us. We are going to do the, oh, we can't put it right there, never mind. We'll do the X right there. So now that's building number 2 next to her. And the reason we couldn't put this over here is the buildings have to be next to each other. All right, this is the shape I hate the most. Let me take a sip. We are on a striper. What do we want to do? You know what? I know what we're going to do. Okay, so now we have 3 around this well. And hopefully I'll remember when we get a single, we go ahead and get that particular rock. So we have a 2-striper. And let us go ahead and now we can do it there. So now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So we do have 4 points for that well. Here's where I messed up though. Now we're reliant on 2 singles to not deduct those 4 points for that rock. So I really made a dumb move there. Okay, we have a single, and it's a single X, and we are going to go ahead and do that before I forget. Let's take another drink. And looks like the only question we've gotten was just what beer I'm drinking. Please feel free to ask any questions. And I do know this is kind of boring. You know, I'm not chatting it up and talking about a lot of things. A lot of this is just me getting comfortable doing a live stream and seeing how this goes. Okay, now we have our first church. So where do we want to put this church? Let's take a look. Let's see. It's got to be... I know what we'll do. We'll do it right here. Okay. A 4-spot stripe. And let's do it over here. Across that river. We got a 3Xer. Let's see, where do we want to do this one? Where do we want to put this X? You know what? Let's go ahead and put it over here. Let's go ahead and take a sip. And it looks like we lost one of our viewers. So apparently this was too boring for them. All right, so we have a 2Xer. Where do we want to do with this 2Xer? Let's see. Shoot. We'll just do it right there. Let's go ahead and roll. Oops. So we have a 3 solid. All right, let's go ahead and put it right here. And we have a straight line with an X, which will work perfect for this little corner right here. All right, let's take another sip. Let's roll it in. Okay, we have a large stripe. So where can we put this? Do we even have a spot where we can put this? Yes, we do. And that's a stripe. It's not an X, so that should have been the red, just so I don't forget. And for our viewers that just joined in, we are doing a playthrough of My City Roll and Build while we are drinking a beer. Okay, we have a 3-spot. And let's go ahead and do that stripe right here. So there's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's going to be 8 points right there. And then right now we have all 3 building types adjacent to church. So this church has an X and a solid. So if you put a stripe, then we will get those points. All right, so we have another large X, which we do not. Oh, no, we don't have a spot for this. I'm not seeing it there. And don't see it there either. Dang it. We are going to miss a point. Let's go ahead and do a roll. Oh, we have our church. So we have to do a second church. And it has to be that shape. And there's only one spot I can see. All right, so we're going to do one more roll. And we can't do that. All right, now we're going to do one more roll because we've got a couple 2s. We have an L, which we're going to go ahead and do this X. We now have 3 different building types, so we're going to get the points for that. And I'm going to stop here because I feel like we've got too many minutes points. So we're going to get the -2 for right here. We are going to get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 for the trees. Rocks, we're going to lose 2, 4. Empty spaces, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So we've got -5 right there. So, oh, actually, sorry. 7, 9. -9. So we only ended up with a +1 right there. Now let's see. How many solid buildings do we have next to each other? We've got 2 solid buildings, so that'll give us 2 points. How many stripes? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 that are next to each other. So that kind of worked out. And X's, I think we've just got the 1, 2, 3. So we're going to get 10, 13 right there. We have +11 right there. So that's 24, 25. So 25 points on episode 5. Not too bad, not too bad. Let's go ahead and pause for a minute. And I'm going to drink a beer real quick, so hold on one second. And before I begin Chapter 2, Episode 6 of My City Roll and Build, does anybody in the chat have any questions that they want to ask other than the beer? And I do see people are kind of dropping in and dropping out. But I do really appreciate everybody taking the time to watch this. And it looks like we need to start at the church this time instead of starting at the river. So let's have a quick drink for luck. All right. We are going to have a 3Xer. So let's go ahead and start there. And again, you don't need to use the pens or the colored pencils, but you can if you want to. Go ahead and take a quick drink again. All right. We have a 3 stripe. And we will go ahead and do, where do we want to do this? If we do it here, that's 1, 2, 3, yeah. So let's go ahead and do it across the river. So we will go ahead and do it across. And for anybody watching either the live stream or, or the video. If you see that I did a misplay, please let me know. All right, so we have our first church, and churches do count as buildings. We will go ahead and do it right here. All right, let's go ahead and roll again. We have a X. So let's go ahead and do, I think we can do it this way. One, two, three. There we go. That kind of worked out. Let's go ahead and do another roll. All right, we have a solid L again. And where do we want to put this solid? Let's go ahead and do it right here. This will count as the first building for that well. All right, we have a solid there. So let's just do this. Oh, it's got to be 4. Never mind. How do we want to do this one? Oh, you know what? I could do it this way. No, that's not going to work either. We're going to have to go here. 2, 4. There we go. We're going to need another beer. All right, we have another 4 solid. Let's see. How do I want to do this one? How do we want to do this one? I have a feeling this one's not going to be a very good score. All right, so we have a 4x. And let's just put the x right. Oh, no, we don't want to put it right there. Yeah, I just screwed us. No, I can put it here. We have our next church. And let's just do it right here. We have a stripe. That one worked out for us. And we have a 3xer. All right, so let me think. What do we want to do with this 3xer? What do we want to do? We could put it here, and then we're going to have 1, 2. We won't get our 4. I can put it here. Actually, yeah, let's do that right. So now we have 2 next to that well. All right, we have a 3 line for a stripe. Where do we want to put the 3 line for the stripe? Let's see. Where would be the best place? You know what? Let's do it over here. Now let's take the last of the spear. And we have a 4 stripe, which I left us a 4 spot there. And I messed up again. So I'm not having a very good series on this one. Just not. The dice aren't just being cooperative for us. So we've got a solid, a 3 solid. Where do we want to put this 3 solid? You know what? I think what I'm going to do is just go ahead and cover this. Let's hope we can get a single, and I can put the single right there. But I think this chapter 2, just by and large, we just did awful. All right. I don't believe we have anywhere we can put this particular one. There's no spots over here. We don't have a spot to put it there. We can't put it there. So we are going to... Oh, shoot. We have to stop if we can't build this. All right, so let's just double check real quick. It won't go there. It won't go there. We can't put it here. If I reverse this, yeah. If I had a reverse, that might work there. Yeah, that's just not gonna work. Now, what if we covered any trees? Nope. Shoot. All right, so this one, we just sucked. All right, so let's see how this worked out. So there is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. On the rocks, 2, 4, 6. We minus 6. Empty spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 19. So minus 9 when we do that. Solid buildings, we 1. Stripes next to each other, 2. Yep. X's, 2, 3. Nope, 2. So that's 5. We did not get the points there. We do get the points for having the 3 for the churches. So it's 8. So we finished this one on a -1, which is horrible. So we did not play this one well at all. Let's see. On the first episode, we got 8. 8. The second one, we got 25. And this last one, we got -1. Oh, that's horrible. So we were at, it'll be 24, and 8 is 32. So we are at 32 for this particular one. 32 puts us in the apprentice category. And when we did chapter 1, we were in the building inspector. So we're going down. Now, what that means is we really need to kick it in the gear for chapter 3 or chapter 4 if we have any hopes of bringing things back up. So I do appreciate everybody taking the time to watch this. I know this is not the most exciting thing to watch. I'm still getting a handle on how I want to do the live streaming. I could write up a script and kind of talk about stuff. My hope is getting a few regular watchers who will ask questions, and then maybe we can engage in a dialogue and have a conversation back and forth. And I do see that we have another viewer that just jumped in. You're catching the tail end of the broadcast where we were doing a playthrough of chapter 2 of My City Roll and Build and answering any questions that viewers had. For the most part, the only questions that the viewers had was they want to know what beer I was drinking. But I know some people just like to kind of watch. I know often when I watch the live stream on YouTube, I'm not always commenting, but if anybody is watching this currently or watching this on the replay, if you have some games that you would like me to kind of do through a playthrough, please let me know. This is just something I would be doing anyway, with just sitting here drinking and playing games. I've got 3 or 4 games that are sitting right next to me right now. Let me go ahead and move this beer. I've got My City sitting next to me. I have Resist. I have Dungeon Solitaire. I've got One Deck Dungeon. I've got Regicide. So I've got, and that's just what's sitting next to me right now. So I've got a plethora of games that I can do the playthroughs on. This is just one I'm happen to do right now. So if you do have ones that you would like me to discuss or do a playthrough of, please let me know. Do again appreciate everybody taking the time to watch this. Please like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And until next time, folks, cheers.